What's up, y'all? I'm DJ Premier.
And my name is Royce 59.
And we are PRhyme. And you are checking out
HotNewHipHop. No, not at all. I mean, I don't remember having any kind of expectations. You know, like I was living in the moment. Like when something that crucial happens for you or to you, you just think about that moment. You're so caught up in the moment, like you don't even. It feels like so much is happening. How could you even think about wanting more? You know what I mean? Like it's like winning the lottery and then thinking to yourself like, damn, I could use another $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even think about it. So I was just like happy. You know what I mean? So as we begin to maintain our relationship and just our feelings for each other progressed. I'm sure the internet is going to have a field day with that comment, but as our feelings for each other progressed, I started to feel like it was a possibility many years later, as I started to get a little more mature and as we started to become homies more so than just business associates, I started to feel like it was a possibility. I seen that the fans were asking for it. And I just wanted to wait until the right time to even try to discuss it with him. I mean, he executive produced one of my albums before.
It was Street Hop.
Yeah, we work hand in hand. So it was just like it was the obvious next step at that point.
You talking about back when like in the night? I mean, the only difference it would have been is it would have been the crate digging sound versus Ant-Man and Adrian. That would be the only difference because obviously with the crate digging sound, there's so many different ways to go because I'm looking to just have so many different approaches, which even with PRhyme, the approaches are different. I mean, you got Sunflower Seeds that sounds nothing like Black History, and then Flirt is what I consider my traditional preem bounce. That and Without Warning with the Yellow Wolf. That's the regular preem bounce, but then you'll have a record like Do Your Thing, which, man, I love the emotion of it. I love the simplicity of it. Same thing with My Calling. That's one of my favorites. And it's just, I don't know, it's just something about that weird. It sounds like it's a whole bunch of birds flying in the air, but quiet. They're not chirping really loud.
On My Calling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. I love that one.
And just the way he approached it, because we did all that in Detroit. So
he made that one in like the 9th inning too. It was like,
yeah,
I don't know. I hadn't slept in like a long time, and I was like delirious. And he played me that beat, and I was just
I was threatened.
I was like, holy shit, this dude don't want me to go to sleep.
I was threatened. He said, yo, I said I'm ready to get back to finishing the rest of the album. I'll come to Detroit. He said, well, if we don't finish it before Book of Ryan, I'm putting my album out first. I said, I'm coming down. So I can finish it. and we did.
It was the same. It wasn't really even a family perspective with Joe. It's what the perspective is. It's exactly that. It's the artist thing. It's just the verbiage. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna critique something, constructively do it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't call it trash, and you know what I'm saying? Like throw it in rice. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? When you talk like that, me as an artist, I take offense to that, and it's just because of the words you're using. It's not because you don't like it. It's very easy to do that and then twist the words around afterwards to create a different conversation, to get conversations going for views. It's easy to do that, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's really, if you just look right at it, it's like it's the difference between you saying, I'm not really feeling that, and saying, that shit trash. Nobody's doing that. I don't care how much you love somebody. You're not a yes man because you're not talking to me like that. Don't talk to me like that. Like, I don't have anybody in the studio. PRhyme don't have nobody in the studio coming in the studio saying, yo, I'm your boy. And since I'm your boy, I get to say, yo, that shit trash. It's offensive. What would you do? Like if I came in the lab and you was making the beat and I was like, man, get that trash ass shit out of here.
I would hope you're joking.
You'll probably go up top. He'll probably go up top on me. We'd be in the studio fighting. And it's not that I'm not supposed to keep it real with him. It's just that I talk to him with respect. This is my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, now imagine getting on a public platform. It make it even worse. Like if I come in here and PRhyme breath stink, I slide him a mint. I don't get on camera and go, hey, everybody, PRhyme breath stink. Because that's my friend, and I'm real, and I'm not a yes man. Fuck out of here, man.
Pass me a piece of gum, please?
Yeah, it's like, fuck. So it's like when people act like they don't know what I'm talking about, it's irritating as fuck. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, they shitting on you. They shitting on you. They shitting on you because they're not into what you do. You know, a lot of artists do it too. Like, and I try to make sure that I don't do this. If it's an artist that's making the kind of music that I know they're not making for me, what the fuck do my opinion matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I don't like it. It's not for me. That's music. That's the beauty of music. Everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not necessary for you to publicly give your opinion on every single thing. Like, I'm not going on Twitter every day critiquing everybody's album. I'm not going on Twitter and saying nothing about any other artist unless it's something good. It's just a respect thing to me. You know, and it's probably just because I want respect in return. You got to give it to get it. You know what I mean? J.I.D. Nick Grant.
Oh, he's so dope too.
How old is Mick Jenkins?
He can't be over 25. We're right around there.
Mick Jenkins. We need him on there because we need melody.
I love his first couple tapes too.
That's classic.
What about non-lit people who aren't considered lyricists? Maybe like some surprising names you vibe with.
Let me see who's not considered a lyricist. Commercial.
That's fine.
I like Lil Uzi. I like what he does. I like what he does.
Does fill in the void with like punk rock music.
I like what he does. See, he's good at what he does. I don't listen to none of it, but he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
I think somebody as good as him, we could get in and make something good. And I wouldn't force him to be a lyricist, and I wouldn't try to do too much of what he's doing. You know, like both of us would probably have to conform just a little bit. We go in there with the right producer, I think we can make something that pleases both sides in terms of our viewership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, did you see the Chris Brown Lil Dicky video?
Oh yeah.
It's a perfect example. Perfect example.
Saw it yesterday.
Their own, but come together.
Yes,
Where he's
yes.
a white guy and living in the white.
We need more moments like that. We need more moments like that. It took me back to like when Marshall used to first drop videos and the world would stop because it'd be just so good. It's so entertaining. You could laugh. The song is good. Everybody is being themselves and nobody is judging. Chris Brown not saying, I ain't working with that white boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he corny. I ain't working with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just, dude is mad talented. Lil Dicky is talented.
I'm
He's
a
super
big Chris
talented.
Brown fan anyways.
And I'm a huge Chris Brown fan, so.
But like conceptually, that video.
Everything. Everything's nothing wrong with nothing. That whole moment is amazing.
When I went to Moscow, the record store I went to out there that they took me to, that's how I met Anderson .Paak, because we did a project together for Boiler Room. And the MF Doom was supposed to do it, but he got sick and had to have an emergency surgery, so he couldn't make it. So they were like, do you mind if we, instead of an MC, we get a singer? And I was like, who? And they would say, well, we were thinking about a guy named Anderson .Paak. And I was like, who, Anderson .Paak? You know, like, does he have anything out? And they were like, yo, we'll send you a couple links of his videos. I said, yeah, just send me like any three. That's my thing always. Just give me 2 or 3, and I'll judge it off of that. And they sent me Suede. And I love that whole video. So, and then I saw Knowledge in the video from No Worries. I mean, well, from Stone's Throw. I know Peanut Butter Wolf real well from back in the day. So being I saw Knowledge and I was familiar with him, I was like, well, he's with Anderson .Paak, so there's got to be an element there. And then, so that already made me go, yeah. And then his voice, and he looked like he was enjoying the whole song, and it's a dope video where it just like it looks like in a warehouse in a back room, like where you take a break during your job at lunch, and he's like, yes, Lord, you know, just the whole thing, and his raspy voice and the way he was dressed, and he kind of had a Malcolm X-ish type of a cheekbone face. So I kept even thinking about Malcolm X, and he had the way he had his shades on. Next thing you know, they said, all right, let's do it. We go out there, and they said, we're going to take you to a store where you can pick records because they're publishing out there in Russia. You can share it, and it's universal with anybody that's in Russia. So it's different for how we do our publishing here. So it's like it's shared, and the money's just divided up a different way, and which is definitely where everybody eats. And so when I went to that record store, I did a video of. I've never seen just endless records, and mainly Russian records. They had a lot of funk and soul. I didn't want that. I can get that here.
Yeah.
This was like,
You can't even read it.
yeah, I can't even read it. And then they had these records that come in these little packs where it's like 6 records, and they're books, but they come with these like 6 records in a book, a little mini book size of 45s. I was making beats for days, and even the way that they clear samples is different. So, and I had a Russian producer named B&B Space Kid that was the whole thing, was to get me to do one song with a producer that's from Russia and see what we come up with. And we came up with one called Till It's Gone, and we came up with the Animals record, which was at the time called FSU for Fuck Shit Up. Because when Freddie Gray got killed by the cop, Paak called me when we got back to the States. He was like, "Yo, these police out of fucking control, man. I'm not sick of this shit. I want to write a song to that other beat we didn't use, which would happen to be the Animals beat." He's like, "I want to call it FSU, Fuck Shit Up." And he wrote it, sent it to me. And I was like, "Yo, this is dope." He said, "I want to put it out right now. Can you down?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down." So we were setting up the campaign to launch it. He happened to be he was doing a little bit of work with Dre already for the Compton album. And then he told Dre that, "Yo, man, I just did a record with Premier." And Dre said, "Let me hear it." And he was like, "Well, it's not finished yet." And once he said it wasn't finished, Dre asked if he could hear it, in its early stage. And I let him hear it. Next thing you know, he was like, "Yo, I need you to come out here to L.A. and rock this record." Next thing you know, I was on the Compton album.
That's crazy to hear. I know, like, Russian records and all that. Like, do you do e-digging? Like, do you dig on the internet, or is it?
No, so I gotta be in the play. I gotta put my fingers on the record. I want to read the credits. I want to look at the label. I want to see if there's any session musicians that were on another record. Because I do that, I'll be like, "Oh shit, Greg Fillinganes played on this," stuff like that. Oh, so and so played the horns on that. Oh shit, Dexter Wanzel.
That's the shit that sticks out. Where you're like,
Yeah,
really popping this record.
that alone, it will make me pick it up.
Do you ever get like swayed by artwork? Or you
Of
see
course.
something, like, I always have a thing where if there's a naked woman on the cover, I buy it.
Yeah.
Hands down every time. It's
Yeah,
always-
the art, but that was the thing. Back in the days, the album covers meant a lot.
Yeah.
Because it makes you, like you said, it makes you want to. You want the album cover to match the sound.
I'm gonna be dropping my solo album this year. It's called Book of Ryan. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff. My goal is to release more music this year than I ever have any year that I've been around. And I'm always open to do more PRhyme stuff. The legend is always doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we always talk about it, and we always say we down to just keep doing it as long as people want to hear it. And so far, it seems like people seem to like the album, I guess, a little bit. I think they like your beats a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. But they say they like a beat or two. he did all the beats anyway. Him and Ant-Man did everything. Yeah, me. I'm finally gonna finish this NYG's album, which has been long awaited. It's dope to see a lot of comments like, "Oh, that's dope that you're coming with this, but what about NYG's?" And it's good to see that, that they still want it, And I have a few surprise projects that I can't mention yet, but it's going to be exciting when I speak on it. So that's happening, the surprise projects. And, I'm on Evidence's new album, whether or not. I'm on
Shout out to Evidence.
Yeah, shout out to EV. He's on tour with Atmosphere. Shout out to Apathy. I'm on his new album, The Widow's Son. And I'll still be doing side production as well, doing a song here, a song there. Me and Redman been talking about getting on that Muddy Waters too. Method Man too. I know he's working on a project, so those type of things I'll still do. I did a beat for Trick and Be Real. Yeah, so
Always cooking for the legends. Always cooking for the legends.
And Buster. I'm on Buster's new album, ELE, Extinction Level Event 2, ELE 2. Yeah, I did the intro to the album called. He changed the name. It's called True Indeed. So I did the intro. It's dope. It's dope. Straight hardcore. Doing a lot of buster cuts.
Did you did the beat for Trick already?
Yeah, he
Okay.
just hit me last night and said, "Oh, gee, this is sick." So he's happy with it. Yeah, he's happy with it.